Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in this video I have Beast Deities Xicor in hand, or Beast Deities God of Destruction is what they're calling them. So Beast Deities used to be Kong Studios. Now they're sending their figures in 3 separate packages. So you get the figure, then you get a pen holder, which is the hair, and then you have some bookmarks, which are actually the faces. So this is what the box art looks like. This is BO4, Indian Beast Deities. He's the God of destruction, apparently. And yeah, pretty simple box art here. This is the pen holder box art. It's pretty much just a black box. It tells you where you can put the pen at if you wanted to use it as a pen holder. And it has like a little picture of hair there. And then you have the bookmarks here, which are the faces. So I'll open these first to get these faces out. And with this figure, I got this figure from 5K Toys. I'll leave the link in the description below if they still have some in stock. He was around $60, I believe. And I ordered this pre-order like a while back. So you get a total of 4 faces. This is what he looks like coming out of the box in its packaging. Xicor. Then you have 2 faces here, which are Super Saiyan in color. And then you have the Super Saiyan 3 Goku faceplate here. And I should have got my Kong Super Saiyan 3, but I didn't grab it yet. So take these faces out. Get everything out of these packages first. Here's the pen holder. Let me crack this open. And while I have the knife in my hand, go ahead and crack this open too. So, pen holder, like I said, is the head sculpt or the hair sculpt. And he comes with 2 different versions. And Xicor is from Dragon Ball AF. And if I had to be honest, I did not watch that in its entirety. I just seen pictures and things like that online. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, so Dragon Ball AF came out after that. And I didn't really get into it, but I do like collecting these figures. So for the sake of adding another figure to the collection, why not? And I did pick up the Super Saiyan 5 Goku, which I was really interested in as a kid. So this Xicor kind of completes that set. So we'll look at these 2 hair sculpts in a second. Let me just get everything out of the boxes here to get this stuff out of the way. And then finally the figure. So like I said, I don't know much about Xicor. Apparently he's Goku's son. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So this is what this package looks like coming out of the box. You get the body by itself. And you have a bunch of hand sculpts here that we'll go over in a second. And then you have his Beast Deity sculpt, which is yellow. And then it comes with 1 blast effect. So I can put this blast effect together on screen also. Let me just get all this stuff out of the way, because Beast Deity sends like a lot of stuff, which is good. Bear with me here. And I hope this body is more of like the reissued body that I wasn't able to pick up. So I'm filling them right out of the package in hand. It feels good. Looking good so far. So we'll get into this body in a second. We'll go over the accessories. So we'll get this beast out of the way. He comes with the yellow, I guess you call it tiger or lion face. For those who, are interested in using this, I never use these sculpts, but they do come with this. So 2 paws, 1 helmet. And then we'll get into the hand sculpts here. So he comes with 2 key blast hands. This material is really soft, which is good. I guess it'll prevent you from breaking anything. So like I said, I don't know much about Xicor, but Xicor comes with kind of like these I don't know if you call them spikes or diamonds on his hands. He also has them on his face. So we'll look at the faces in a second. But this hand connects to this key blast effect, which we will get into in a second. So open palm hands with the key blast connector. Here are the open palm hands without the key blast connector. And we have two karate style posing hands. Look pretty good. And again, like I said, this material, I don't know, maybe because it's hot out here, but it's really soft plastic so far. We'll see if it cools down and kind of sets in its mold. We have some, you could call this either blaster hands or instant transmission fingers is what we're definitely used to. The details look good. You guys can let me know what these are called in the comments. The diamond spikes on his knuckles. And then last but not least, we have his fists here. So since these are the last ones to pull out, this is what the pegs look like. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on, and then we'll get into the articulation of this figure as we're going along here with the rest of the accessories, if he can stand. So next we have this key blast effect. So his is like it's kind of like a pinkish purple. And then these are the key blast effect inserts. They all come like a puzzle piece. So I will put this together on screen just to see, or just to show you guys rather, how simple it is. So you definitely just find the holes and plug them in, even though I'm having a hard time with this first one here. Yep, if you're having an issue with a problem, you move on to the next one. So am I gonna have enough time to put this thing together on screen? That one doesn't fit well either. Why do they all look the same right now? That's weird. Yeah, you know what? They kind of, that's weird. They kind of all look the same. They usually look different in order to plug that in. So with that being said, I guess you could just like slot them in anywhere they fit, I'm assuming, because the pattern is not different. It doesn't look different. So well, I guess it'll be easier to put together. Make this process a little bit faster. So like I was saying, these key blast kind of like aura shots spitting out all have an inserted slot here. And yours may come different, but this is what the complete product looks like once you put it together. Hopefully that didn't take up too much time. It has a nice color. Like I said, it's like a, I don't know if that's magenta, but it's like a pinkish purple and red aura effect, which looks pretty sick. And then, like I said, these key blast effect holding hands are what connect to this. So you can imagine him, you know, with his hand on here, with it looking like that. So that looks pretty good. This key blast definitely looks a lot different than, you know, many of the ones that we've seen and things like that. So that's the key blast. Put that to the side. And now let's get into these face sculpts. So he comes with Super Saiyan face sculpt with red pupils. And again, let me know in the comments, because he has like these whiskers here and things like that that I'm not too sure of what they're for or where they came from. So this is the first straight looking face for the Super Saiyan. And then he comes with like a super grinning face looking to the side. So again, the pupils are red. And why I keep saying that is because, the pupils are orange, but then when he's in like this white hair mode, let me know in the comments what it's called. The pupils are red with black dots, kind of like a Gohan Beast. So this is what this sculpt looks like, looking to the side. And those go with this head sculpt. So this, you know, I call it Super Saiyan, but it also has like these horns here. So this is what the pegs look like in the inside. And then we'll go ahead and plug this face in first. Beast Deities, they're doing like a new facial face plate insert type thing. So this little black piece comes off too. And then it gives you room to put the face on just like that. Then you put the black piece over that. And then you put the last part on. over that. So there is a little gap. It's kind of like a gap here, if you guys can see. The flush mounting, not so much, but this is what the sculpt looks like with that face in. And this is what the peg looks like on the inside. Plug that in just like that. I really like Beast Deities, their neck pegs. So the neck pegs work really well. So since we have part of this guy together, well, actually, we'll leave him like that. And let's go over the other head sculpt first. So that's him put together with that head sculpt. And next we have what I call either Super Saiyan 5 Aura or Beast Gohan Aura, but it is white. It's got slight bit of shading in the tip there and kind of like in the back. So it's kind of like a white to grayish black tint. And then here's what these face sculpts look like. You get one yelling face. The details look really good. I think Beast Deities came a long way from their other sculpts, so I like the detail in that. Like I said, he's got kind of like a red outline on his eyes and the red pupil with the black dot in the center. Next we have the straight looking face again in this form. Did the spikes get bigger on his chin? I'm not sure. Oh man, and Xicor, I need to look more into his power. So straight looking face. Next we have another grinning face, very cocky guy apparently. That looks pretty good. And last but not least for Xicor is the teeth gritting face, and that's what that looks like. So good detail there, really good detail. We're gonna put this side smirking face in here again. I showed how to take these parts apart, and then we're gonna plug this in again. So I think it is a little bit easier to take his horns off first and then put on the rest of his bang here. So that's what it looks like in its completion. And I'll try this head on next. And then last but not least, we get this Goku face sculpt. I don't want to run over there and grab my Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but this is for the Kong / Beast Deity Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And yeah, you get an extra faceplate for that if you guys were able to pick that up. So getting into the figure, looking up close, he has the green gi. It's pretty much straight up and down. I don't see any shading in the figure so far. Yeah, pretty much. So it's green plastic. Then we have black plastic here with the green paint over that. He's got the brown paint for his kind of like shoelace. This is a light green plastic, same as this light green plastic here. These pieces up here are soft plastic and no shading anywhere. So we'll look at the articulation. He looks down that far. Like I said, Beast Deities gets really good articulation. You go ahead and push that back. He can look up that far. One complaint could be a lot of gappage between the neck and the chin, but that's okay. Not too much to whine and grab about. Side head tilt, always really good there. His arms go up about that far with the 3.0 technology. They can go all the way around, no problem. I'm not having any issues yet as far as I can feel. For some reason, Beast Deity's left shoulders are always loose, but it's not coming out, which is good. Not wobbly on the legs. So we got the bicep swivel. Butterfly joints on the 3.0s go out, or in rather, about that far, with seeing the little gappage in between there. And I think by now we all know how the mechanics work. So as the peg goes in there and the peg goes down. We have the double jointed elbows that are good. And then the wrist pegs here. So complaints about Beast Deities, Kong Studios in the past, where the wrist pegs were a little funky, but these feel okay. So hopefully this is a reissued version of their mold. So ab crunch that far forward, really far backwards as well. Looks like he's dodging some stuff. This hair kind of comes off a little bit easy, but there's nothing to whine and gripe about. So bicep swivel is always good. Complete 360 there. The splits can go up from the forward to the back about that far. His butt is kind of hindering that. Get his arms up, and then the splits always go out wide with the 3.0s, which is really good. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee. He's got the ankle pegs here. Got a little bit of it. Oh, that's actually a good ankle rocker. And then the toe hinge. So pretty solid figure. And we'll get into the height scale real quick. I can measure his height. The wrist pegs are a little loose, but I think that my figure is kind of warm right now coming out of the mailbox. So let's get his height here. Beast Deities figures are always kind of tall, so he sits at about, I would say, 6.5 inches to the tip of his hair. That makes him what's that, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.5 centimeters tall. We'll get some height comparisons here next to the Kong Studios Goku. They pretty much stand at the same height. I just switched out the head to the Legendary Super Saiyan for like my Broly section, but I mean, you pretty much get the gist of the figure's height. Kong Studios has their own height for their figures, so that's how those two scale together. Next, we could put them next to a S-Row Goku to get a feel of SH Figuarts to Beast Deities scale. Maybe Xicor is supposed to be this big, I'm not sure. That's what he looks like next to S-Row. And then here he is next to Demoniacal Fit 3.0. So again, his scale is a little bit taller than Demoniacal Fit and SH Figuarts, but he still fits well on the shelf. So before we show his last head sculpt, this is him next to Super Saiyan 5 Goku. And this is probably like the main reason why I got Xicor, just to complete this section. So Super Saiyan 5 Goku still towers over him. He's a lot bigger, obviously father to son. I hope Goku was stronger than Xicor. I never seen episodes of them together and things like that, so I'm assuming Goku's always the strongest. But this is the comparison between the two, and I'm assuming that he's getting some kind of power from Goku to get this kind of color hair. So we'll get Goku out of the way and then see what his last sculpt looks like here. Sometimes the peg gets stuck, but no problem. Just pull that out and then just pop this on. Oh, this had to be the one that's like a little bit difficult, huh? Let's see if I can get this on without having to warm it up. All right, that's being difficult. So I'm gonna have to warm this one up. I do have my heat gun here. Real quick. I just use a regular heat gun. I'm gonna melt this thing. Hopefully that's enough. Let's see. Gotta get this guy on. That is hard, I'm not gonna lie. So definitely warm up your figure first. And we'll put on this little grinning face real quick before I close out. And again, this is Xicor, Dragon Ball AF. Go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section and let me know a little bit more about this guy. because I don't know much about Xicor, but I do know a little bit about Super Saiyan 5 Goku, who's probably like the only version of AF as a character that I was interested in growing up. So this is from 5K Toys. I could leave a link in the description below to see if they have more in stock. I can also put this key blast effect on before we close out. To kind of get a feel for what that would look like. Kind of like that, right? Not too bad. So, if you feel like this video was helpful, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to keep an eye out for my next videos to come, go ahead and subscribe. Until then, thank you for watching.